This is the Orioles POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Baltimore Orioles. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Baltimore Orioles POSTCAST here on the Locked On Podcast Network. My name is Luke Slabaugh, and as always, we stream these shows live to YouTube immediately after every Baltimore Orioles game. The O's continue their West Coast road trip, and if you're new here for the first time tuning in on the channel, be sure to like, subscribe. We got a great community of O's fans here, daily content on the Orioles. Final score, the O's 4 and the San Diego Padres 3. Padres are an interesting club, headed for the postseason in one way or another, whether it's through a wild card spot or besting the Los Angeles Dodgers for that NL West crown. And you also get to catch up with old flames like Manny Machado, Ryan O'Hearn, and Ramon Laureano, three players who made their mark in however long a stint they had in Baltimore, and all acquired via different ways. Manny Machado, the number 3 overall pick in the 2010 draft, Ryan O'Hearn, a castaway from the Royals off the waiver wire, and Ramon Laureano, a prove-it free agent deal with an option for next year. Both traded away to San Diego. Machado traded to the Dodgers in exchange for Dean Kramer, among others, and now making a home in San Diego. And in a similar way that Machado shined in his time in Baltimore before getting traded and launching himself into superstardom, the O's have budding stars of their own. And they're the ones who come up in the clutch and drive in all 4 runs in this 4-3 win over the Padres.
This is what you'll be talking about.
The youth came up clutch. That's really all you have right now, right? Other than Gunnar Henderson, who, to his credit, is still young, just not a rookie. Samuel Basallo makes his mark on this game in the top of the second. Scoreless game, 2 on, 1 out. Dylan Beavers had reached on an infield single. Dylan Carlson had walked. They both advance on a wild pitch. And Basallo hits a 2-run double to the right center field gap. Ripped on the ground, 110 miles an hour off the bat onto 97-mile-an-hour fastball against right-hander Dylan Cease. The O's left some runs on the board, certainly. Top of the third, Jackson Holliday doubles to right field on a hanging slider. Jeremiah Jackson pokes a single through the left side. Holliday only advancing 1 bag. Runners at the corners with Gunnar Henderson at the plate. Ball in dirt. Jeremiah Jackson heads to second base. He is hung out to dry. Throw beats him in advance. And in fact, the shortstop, Jose Iglesias, has to shuffle step over a couple to tag him out. Jackson Holliday there is stock still, like a statue over at third base. Does not advance, retreats to the bag. Gunnar walks. However, Emmanuel Rivera strikes out, hitting cleanup on 3 pitches. Dylan Beaver strikes out to end the inning. Base running has been a knock on Jackson Holliday, and particularly I've had my concerns with Buck Britton over there at third base in terms of awareness and what to do when the ball is in the dirt. You could have gotten Jeremiah in a rundown between first and second. You could have sent Holliday when that ball was thrown through, and he would have beaten a relay throw home. Samuel Basallo doubles again to right field in the 4th. Fastball in on the hands at 98 from Dylan Cease. Advances on a wild pitch, and they cannot bring him in. The O's make Cease work. Former Chicago Cubs top prospect, was an all-star with the White Sox. Cease is out after 91 pitches and 4 innings. Top 5 left-hander Adrian Morejon on 1 out. Jeremiah Jackson greets him in the rudest way. First pitch slider, belt high, home run to straightaway center field, 392 feet. 110-mile-an-hour exit velo on that. And with 1 swing of the bat, Jeremiah Jackson does an incredible job for the O's, puts them up 3-2. That was, there's a lot more I want to say about Jeremiah Jackson there. And foreshadowing, go ahead, leave your comment in the chat if you're watching live on YouTube for your player of the game. The turning point, of course, will come starting with Jeremiah Jackson in the top of the 7th. It is the subject of tonight's turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Right-hander Jason Adam, another former Kansas City Royal, on the bump to start this inning. One out, Jeremiah Jackson gets a 3-2 slider, middle, pokes it through the left side for a single. Gunnar Henderson, a 1-2 slider low and in, hits a tapper to the shortstop Jose Iglesias. Ball dribbling up the middle, and Adam tries to make a play on it. He was more, I think, concerned when the ball was over his head. He didn't really have a beat on this ball. But as he pivots and tries to turn around, his left leg gives out and he collapses on the mound. A very somber scene in San Diego. Adams is having an incredible all-star caliber year. And the lip reading on the Masson broadcast that Ben McDonald pointed out was he said to a trainer, clearly something popped. They have to bring out the cart to take Adam out of the game. Our thoughts and prayers, of course, with him and San Diego. You hate to see that go down, especially a non-contact injury. Forget the situation of the game, just in general. We felt the same way when Hunter Biggie got hit by the foul ball off the face down in Tampa. It's unfortunate that these types of non-contact injuries happen in the game. Right-hander Robert Suarez comes in. Colton Cowser pinch hitting for Rivera, strikes out on a changeup. And just as the O's seem to be going through another frame without getting a runner in from scoring position, Dylan Beavers, a 2-2 changeup he pulls into right field. Jeremiah Jackson rounding third, waved home, and Ramon Laureano with a quick exchange. We know the arm and we know the fielding prowess. Plays this ball as perfectly as you can. Rifles it home, and Jeremiah, head first slide, beats the throw to give us the lead 4-3. Coming up, we'll go through Kyle Bradish's start in a similar vein as how Dylan Cease labored. Kyle Bradish in his second start, returning from Tommy John surgery, had a bit of a difficult go-round in terms of command, in terms of pitch count, and some standout relief performances. That's what we got going for us. I want to say thank you for tuning in here on this Monday night. Feels like a Sunday with it being the Labor Day holiday. Hope you and yours are very safe, having a good time, perhaps got out on the water, perhaps visited family, perhaps just had some pizza and chilled and watched some sports. Maybe you're watching Bill Belichick's team right now. My confidant and one-time associate, Bill Belichick. This is the Orioles postcast. Are you still paying full price for gas? O's fans, it's time to rethink all of that. You can get real cash back every time you fill up at the pump with the free Upside app. Simply download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play right now and start earning cash at the pump. Use my limited time promo code SEASON and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You could make up to $300 a year just from buying the gas you already needed. At first, you think it's too good to be true, but it's totally legit. Real people are getting paid just to make their daily commutes, and you can as well. Plus, you can cash out at any time to your bank account, PayPal, you name it. Don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upside app now and use my limited time promo code SEASON for a limited time 25 cent per gallon bonus. That's promo code SEASON. Disclaimer, offers vary by user and location. Go to theupside.com for terms and conditions. Plenty of sponsors here that we want to thank so much. FanDuel is the next one. NFL season is this weekend. Ready for a full slate of games, ready to watch all of them except for the Carolina Panthers. FanDuel says that you should be ready for this season, and they've got a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. It makes every game more exciting, whether you're watching your team or just keeping an eye on your fantasy lineup. So if you're ready, download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. And on the subject of betting, what about PrizePicks? It's the daily fantasy app where making the right call can actually pay off. You and I make decisions every day. Deep dish pizza on a Labor Day right before going on air, worst idea I've ever had. But on PrizePicks, being right means cashing in. With football back, PrizePicks is the simplest and fastest way to get in on the action. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player projections And you can turn your takes into real prizes, all in less than 60 seconds. And the best part, even if one of your picks misses, PrizePicks invented the Flex Play feature, so you can still double your money. Download the PrizePicks app today and use the code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB for $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. PrizePicks, because it's good to be right.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Jeremiah Jackson had his 100th plate appearance in Major League Baseball tonight. His 99th was the solo home run to give the O's a 3-2 lead. Get this. The dude is on an absolute tear. 12-game hitting streak. And through 100 plate appearances, his line was this: 33 hits in 27 games. 33 for 97, which was good for a 340 average, OPS of 886, and 3 home runs. Another clutch night for Jeremiah Jackson, this adoptive member of the O's young core. 25 years old, a second-round pick by the Angels. 3 for 5 with 2 runs scored. Struck out in the ninth, so his average has dipped to 337. However, this is an appropriate sample size, 100 plate appearances in the game, and there's no letting up. He's starting to force the issue. Jeremiah Jackson is your player of the game, and well deserved. You could make the argument for Dylan Beavers for sure with the go-ahead RBI single. And you could also choose one of Dietrich Enns and Rico Garcia. Enns, the left-hander, Garcia, the right-hander, shortened this game after Kyle Bradish only went 4 innings. For Dietrich Enns, it's a well-deserved win in relief of Kyle Bradish. And his ERA now, as an Oriole, through 16 and a third innings pitched, is a 3.31 ERA. Pretty great. And the only run he gave up today was unearned. A throwing error on his part on a bunt by Freddie Fermin, the catcher. The throw was high and hit off of Kobe Mayo's glove, and eventually Fermin would come around to score on Ramon Laureano's game-tying single. We know Laureano likes to hit lefties, got a change up below the knees, poked it through the left side hole. And Laureano, coming into tonight, in 28 games down in San Diego, has endeared himself to fans. We knew he would. Hitting a 305 batting average in 28 games, a 935 OPS, and 7 home runs. Ramon is up to 22 home runs on the season and is having the best year of his career. And more power to him. Enns then pitches a 1-2-3 bottom of the 6th on 8 pitches. Economical there. Bottom of the 7 gets Fermin to strike out on 3 pitches and a changeup low. Gives up a hit to Luis Ariz to center field, which was Ariz's 1,000th career hit, much to the delight of the San Diego sellout crowd. And then right-hander Rico Garcia comes on. Faces Manny Machado, gets him to line out to left field. A great first step and jump off the bat from Dylan Beavers out there in left. 1-1 curveball, Machado all over it. Nice line drive, Beavers gets it. Then Garcia ends the frame by striking out Ryan O'Hearn on a fastball high at 98. Garcia gets Laureano to ground out to start the 8th, strikes out Gavin Sheets on a changeup, and then that dastardly change gets Jake Cronenworth to ground out to Jackson Holliday, and that is that. Keegan Aiken, he of the 6 blown saves this year, pitches a relatively clean 9th inning. Not a whole lot of drama. As for Kyle Bradish, he labored on this Labor Day, particularly a 35-pitch 2nd inning. Walks Gavin Sheets and Jake Cronenworth, missing high and outside with both the 4-seam and the 2-seam. With 1 out, the runners are moved over a base. Center fielder Bryce Johnson hits an 0-1 curveball up the middle to cut the O's lead to 2-1. And then after a 9-pitch at-bat, Luis Ariz goes oppo on a curveball high. Great bat-to-ball skills, the former batting champion. Game-tying single made it 2-2. Bradish bounces back after that and retires the final 7 hitters he faces. Strikes out Laureano on 3 pitches to start the 3rd. Got him looking at a 2-seamer at the knees. And got Sheets to whiff at a 2-seamer outside. And the final batter he faces, Bryce Johnson, gets him to strike out on a 2-seam. 84 pitches, over 4 innings for Kyle Bradish. 2 earned runs, both coming from 2 walks, 4 hits and 5 strikeouts. You'll see it occasionally, guys coming back from Tommy John surgery. The command can be lacking here and there. It's just going to be a process. The goal with Kyle Bradish for this month is get in and out cleanly. Don't overextend yourself. Fill up the strike zone. Don't overwork. Feel good heading into 2026 and get him some help in that rotation. Help is on the way starting tomorrow. The O's carry on with right-hander Tyler Wells being activated from rehab after he had elbow surgery over the offseason. UCL surgery, not Tommy John. His counterpart is former Chicago Cubs great right-hander Yu Darvish. And it is our next installment, and dare I say final installment, in O's After Dark. 9:40 Eastern first pitch on Masson 2. Can't wait for it. Can't wait to talk about it with all of you. Jeff Molnar, given his best to Jason Adam, I would, of course, agree. We mentioned it in the first block. You never want to see a player of his caliber, Jason Adam, go down with a leg injury, but the 34-year-old in a critical spot tonight went down for the Padres, and we wish them the best in their postseason push. But first, got to get through these final 2 games, and it's a 9:40 Eastern first pitch tomorrow. Can't wait to talk about it with all of you. If you're new here for the first time, go ahead, like, subscribe. We've got daily Orioles instant reaction content. I'm here after every O's game. Connor Newcomb, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Good night. The final score, the Baltimore Orioles 4 and the San Diego Padres 3. Stay safe out there, and I will see you right back here tomorrow night.